Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before I get started with today's video, give this video a huge thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you are new to the channel, and also please check out my Amazon affiliate link linked down below, as it helps out the channel at no cost to you, so that'll be much appreciated. Alright, moving on. So today is a little bit of a different video. As you can see, I'm sitting down, I'm in my basement, I'm in my old BMW e46 M3 seats that I have, just chilling in my basement, kind of as chairs. I will not be selling my fronts. The rear, everything from the rear and all the door cards and the rear seats are all up for sale if anyone is interested in that. But that is not what we are here to talk about. Today we're here to talk about all the differences between the BMW e46 US version and the BMW e46 European version. Now there are quite a bit differences that exist, and yes, some of the things can be retrofitted, and yes, sometimes the cars were ordered with them, but I'm going to go over all the differences because I find that a lot of people don't know, and I think it would just be a cool video to show you guys, because you guys know how much I love the e46 and I want everything, all the options that were available. And here are some of the differences, really, if you're wondering what's the difference between the US and European version of the e46. Now, if you guys catch me looking down at all, it's because I will be on my phone. I have notes on my phone. I'll put pictures up of the options I'm talking about so you guys can see a visual aid of it. Alright, so these are in no particular order, but the first one is the clear side markers. And you probably noticed that in the US versions of the e46, most of the side markers are orange. Now in Europe, they had clear ones, and I added those to my car, and I think they look so much better. So you should see a picture of that. Another difference between the US and European version of the e46 is the Euro 2 tune. Now, if many of you guys don't know what the Euro 2 tune is, it's basically the car's tune on the engine, or the DME, and it allows for the car to not have post-cat O2 sensors, and it allows for the car not to have a SAP system, since they're not needed in Europe for emissions. And if you would like to put the Euro 2 tune on your car and you're in the US, you can do so, and basically you won't get a check engine light because you won't get any codes for it. I'm not entirely sure on all the differences. I know that the difference is you won't get codes for your SAP and you won't get codes for your O2 sensors because the post-cat ones don't exist. Also, in Europe, they have what's called a European dashboard, and I mentioned this in one of my videos as a rare option. I don't think it was even an option at all in the US. Maybe it was dealer ordered, but it's the Euro dashboard, and basically all that is you have a little cubby on the left side of your foot where you would have the dead pedal. Right above on the dashboard, there's a little cubby. Going on with the interior, the Euro center tray. Now, the Euro center tray is basically, instead of cup holders, you have a sliding tray in the e46. It's pretty cool since the cup holders in the e46 are pretty much useless. The next thing is European cars have a different style mirror, where instead of the US where it says objects may appear closer than they are, it basically has a line in it, and that line is for a blind spot. I have them in my car. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they are what was available in Europe for the mirrors. Moving on with the mirrors, you also had the option for power folding mirrors in Europe. You did not see in the US, and if you did, it was very rare, and it seems it's very common in Europe. Also in Europe, you had Euro rear fog lights, which stay tuned to the channel because there will be a video on that. But basically, the inner light, you have another button next to your fog light, and you can turn on rear fog lights on a foggy night so people can see you, and I think that's absolutely awesome. If you have an e46 sedan, all you have to do is knock out the plate, and it's pre-wired. If you have a coupe, a little more work, and there'll be a video about on that. And you also need to add, obviously, the front faceplate for the button. So another thing I found doing the research of this video is that headlight washers were standard on the e46s in Europe. In the US, you had to have it in you had to have the cold weather package to have that, so that wasn't available unless you had the cold weather package. Now, another thing that was not even available in the US is an M Sport version of the e46. As many of you guys know, there is no such thing as an M Sport e46 in the United States. There only is the ZHP, which is a little different because it has upgraded internals, different interior, special trim, stuff like that. So it wasn't an M Sport. Yes, it has the M Tech bumpers that was available on the M Sport, but if you look up your VIN, you won't find a US car with an M Sport option in their VIN. Another obvious difference between the US and European version of the e46 is that Europe had the option for the diesel. There is no diesel e46 in the US available. Obviously, BMW has since changed that, and you can now get all of their newer ones, I think starting with the E90, in diesel in the US. Moving on, another small little feature that was available in Europe but wasn't available in the US was the ability to roll your windows up with your key fob by default. In the US, they shut that off due to safety reasons. Yes, you can code it on your car. I have plenty of videos showing how to do that. I'll drop some in the description, maybe up in the cards if I remember. But in Europe, it was from the factory, you could roll your windows up with your key, which I think is really cool. The US kind of made it lame and restricted that due to safety reasons. Also, so if your E46 had xenons, which I think were kind of more common in Europe, but if they did, the actual cutoff line was different on the xenons. You had what's called DOT, which is here, and you have ECE in Europe, and it really is a difference in the slant. One's sharper, the cutoff line slant where it steps up. The step is sharper, and the other one is longer. I forget which was which. I'll show a picture up on the screen, so hopefully that shows what I'm talking about. Another thing that I found different in the European versus US cars is the default radio settings are a little bit different in the European car, and you can make yours turn to the European settings. I'm not too sure what these settings are. I've just seen people talk about it on the forums. If I find any more information, I'll be sure to link it down below how you can enable the setting on your US radio. Another option, which is really cool, that you could potentially code to your car, to your E46 in the US, is that the European versions of the E46 had the ability to have their low beams, high beams, and fog lights on all at once. Now, it is illegal in most states in the United States to have this feature, but you can turn it on. I turned it on mine, and I think it's really cool. And quick note, if you are trying to code this feature, it is a double negative. It says active by default. You need to turn it to not active. That will actually allow for high beams, low beams, and fogs all at once. So I only have a couple more left. The other one is that there's no parking lamps when your low beams are on. Hence, like, basically your cornering lights, your turn signals are always illuminated in the United States as daytime runners. That wasn't a thing in Europe. And again, that's something else you can code. Another really cool thing about the European cars, at least I think it's cool, is that the European E46s came with a warning triangle and a first aid kit. The warning triangle is in the trunk, and if you open up your trunk on the left hand side, there's like this little small square, and you wonder what goes there. That's for the warning triangle to sit in. Another thing that the European cars came with was a first aid kit under the passenger seat. So if you just reach under the passenger seat, you will feel for a first aid kit. I have retrofitted that into my car. I retrofitted both the warning triangle and the first aid kit into my car. So if you want to see a video about that, I will drop it in the description below. Now, moving on to the last thing, I didn't know this was a European option, and like most European cars come with it. I thought you could get it in the United States, but I really can't find much information about it, leading me to believe that this was a European option, is PDC. PDC was almost standard in all E46s in Europe. So many E46s from Europe had PDC, and in here in the United States, very little had it, if to none. I'm really not sure. I think in the newer ones, the facelifted coupes was an option, but other than that, it really wasn't a thing in the United States. And in Europe, it's all over the cars in Europe. So those are all the options that make the US E46 different from the European E46. Now, there probably is a couple more that I'm missing. Any of my European subscribers or followers, if you could comment down below what I'm missing, what I missed, because I would like to know all of them. This is probably the majority of the differences between the BMW E46 US version and the European version. If you guys have any questions, any comments at all, drop them in the comments below. Like always, I'll be sure to comment back. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm coming out with more videos regarding the E46 and just general BMW content, whether it is DIYs, informative videos, or just coming along for the journey of me doing something to my car. That is all stuff you will see on my channel. So please subscribe if you are new. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up. And lastly, check out my Amazon affiliate link down below, as it helps out the channel at no cost to you. That is all I have for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.